has gained steam in welcoming new visitors this year, and it's cruising to what could be one of its most successful tourism seasons yet. WGEM's Raja Maples explains how a new revenue stream has led to unsinkable money for the town.
It's all about the people.
Carl Brown has spent more than 50 years greeting Hannibal tourists. He says you might be surprised by the international presence in America's hometown, just as a bus of visitors surprised him Wednesday afternoon.
A tour bus pulled in. We had 30 people from Germany. The boats, they have many international travelers. You name it. Australia, Japan, Norway. They come from everywhere.
Trevor McDonald with the Visitors Bureau says record attendance turned out to Hannibal's major events this year, including last weekend's Steampunk Festival.
There was an increase of 1,500 people, which came to a total of 21,500 attendees.
And that momentum is not over. The American Serenade riverboat and Viking cruise ship are expected to dock along Hannibal's riverfront this weekend.
It's been a really exciting season all the way through. It's really been a great boost. It's also been really exciting for people from the surrounding communities and from Hannibal to be able to greet our visitors that are coming on the boats. We've definitely seen some very strong numbers in the way of lodging.
That means Hannibal's tourism definitely won't sink.
I don't think so. Even if Molly's on board.
And that was Raja Maples reporting. And the Hannibal Rotary Club is planning an upcoming event as well called the Harvest Hootenanny. It's scheduled September 15th and 16th at the Mark Twain Cave Complex.